Good evening and welcome to Paranormal Path Peeps. And tonight we've got Mark Bonner. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Very well indeed.
Sorry, I'm laughing. I'm rubbish at pronouncing surnames, so I certainly don't want to get yours wrong.
No, you definitely don't. Although some people will pronounce it the other way.
Yeah, that's
Um,
right. Yeah. So you're with Dead Cold Paranormal. It's an awesome YouTube channel. So if anyone wants to check that out, then I suggest go for it after the show, not too early. Surely you want to know all about Mark first.
hmm.
Hi, Eric. Hope you're well. Eric's from the US, so thanks for joining us. So can you tell us where it all started for you then? What was your first interest in the paranormal?
um, Probably going way back to when we were kids. I know I find this quite funny kind of thing, but I always a friend of me. It was me brother's friend. His brother. He was a bit older than me. He had the Hamlin Book of Horror,
Oh, awesome.
which I now have about on my little. In fact, I think I just have it up here actually. Let me just grab that down. That one.
Oh, brilliant.
That's like an old like 80s kind of. Well, this is like an 80s or maybe even
Yeah.
late 70s book. I mean, it's got some fantastic artwork on it. But yeah, there's a couple of them. Hamlin Book of Ghosts as well, and Hamlin Book of something else. I think it might be space, UFOs or something like that.
Yeah. Haunted Magazine brought one out. They republished one. And I
Yeah,
thought that is like little like magazine, you know what I mean, with big pictures on. So that was cool
yeah,
as well.
yeah.
But yeah, there's just so many. Yeah, it's brilliant how. So what happened? You read it? Did you...
Well, yeah, I was reading through it, kind of thing. I get spooked about the whole thing because there's some quite obviously back in the day when I was probably like maybe 10 or 11 years old, kind of thing. After reading it, me, my brother, and the other lads that we're with, got into. We made our own horror club. So we were already little, I suppose. We made our own horror club. We
Oh,
used to go,
that's cool.
used to go down the lane, which is the back of the houses, kind of thing, and see all the spooky trees and things like that, and probably scare the crap out of each other whilst we're trying to do it. But no, I just became quite interested in it then, and it's just kind of gone on from there. Really, I've been about a bit of a lifelong, I wouldn't say obsession, but an interest in it. I mean, yeah, definitely just a bit of a lifelong interest in it. Really, it's been good. I mean, and this is where I find myself now. I mean, I've not really I've not really done anything like this like I do now ever before.
Oh,
But yeah, so it's. I mean, after the whole horror club thing that we did as kids, it was good. You get like watching like your favorite films
yeah.
and then reading more about it as well. Just so that you try and find out if it's you kind of believe everything as a kid though, don't you? You believe everything,
Oh gosh,
all
yeah.
all all the stories that my mum and dad used to tell me, and or my uncle, which is my mum's brother, who's terrible for it. And, he might even watch this. To be fair, he watches my stuff still. But yeah, he was. Yeah, but I think even like me granddad's house. I remember my mum talking about it when we were kids, and she'd even just she still talks about the story whenever, never, because my mum watches me stuff. So she does talk about it every now and again when she was at my granddad's house, and that place there was haunted. Um, oh, there's my auntie Teresa. She's in the
Oh, hiya. That's cool. Good timing then. So you say it's haunted then?
yeah. Apparently so. My mum actually saw who she thought to be her. Well, she didn't know who it was at the time, but then she described this. She woke up, and again, one of them classic stories where you wake up in the middle of the night and there's someone, there's a figure in the bedroom at the bottom of your bed.
All right, yeah.
Um, I've never seen that, but I mean, my mum's only ever she's talked about this quite often. To be fair, figure at the bottom of the
Wow.
bed, and she couldn't really see. She made like an outline of it, couldn't really see a face or anything like that.
Yeah.
And she went and talked to me grandma about it, and apparently my grandma described the woman to be her great grandma.
Oh wow.
Um, her great grandma Curtin. My mum's surname at the time was Dobson. But yeah, it was her great grandmother, Grandma Curtin, who was from
Wow.
the other side of the family. So yeah, but apparently the house that you used to live in, that used to be a bigger house, and it was split in two when my granddad bought it. So as well, my mum's sister even says that she used to see she used to be a bit older than my mum, used to see strange figures walking along the landing every now and again, as if they're passing
Wow.
between the two houses. Um,
Interesting.
yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
that's cool.
my auntie Teresa might be able to tell us as well, because my auntie Teresa is from my dad's side, um, and they used to live in a little village in County Durham called Thornley, like an old mining village kind of thing. But I remember my mum telling us about this. They were actually got a priest in to exorcise one of the houses not too far away. Well, I don't know what not too far where me grandma used to live there on that side. But yeah, they got a priest in to exorcise one of the houses because there was like poltergeist activity and stuff like that. You
Oh
know,
my gosh.
mad that, isn't it?
Yeah. Wow. So you just like brought up in sort of family who like experience things.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Strange, really. I
yeah,
mean,
you just,
I know. My auntie Teresa would always say. I think even me Jane as well, who was my dad's partner before he passed. Always used to say my dad used to be a bit, I don't know, or not so much empathic. Oh, right, me auntie saying she'd not heard about that. Yeah, my mum told us that, Auntie Teresa.
wow.
Um, yeah, so I don't know if there's any I mean, I don't know, but my mum wouldn't lie, that's for sure. But
Well, no, that's it.
maybe it's just because she lived in the next village over. Maybe it was just like village rumours. I don't know.
Oh wow, it's amazing. Do you think that did your mum? Do you think she did pick up on spirit much other than that, or was it just
No, I don't think she's ever
was
did.
that really? It's just
Um,
what was around and
yeah, it was what was around. The long and short of it was. I'll tell you this as well. To be fair, I didn't actually realise this at the time when my mum and dad got divorced when I was about 18, 19 years old. My mum moved out. She moved up to Belmont, which is just on the outskirts of Durham. Moved into a house there, and she said that after living there for about a month or so, because she was by herself, that she felt as if someone was in the house with her. And she felt every now and again as if someone was actually sitting on the edge of the bed.
okay.
Yeah, she wasn't like actually frightened by it. She found it quite comforting. But again, it's just one of those things that I wonder. I mean, again, I don't discredit me or mum, but maybe she was feeling like a little bit lonely after the whole episode, and maybe that was just something that happened during that wakefulness between sleep and
Wow, yeah.
being awake, a bit like a what do you call that, sleep paralysis, but not quite that kind of thing.
Right, okay.
Um, but
Like they do say about the witching hour, don't they? Things like that when
yeah, yeah. But
you are sort of closer to the veil, whether it's something to do with that.
but
I
maybe
don't know.
but just to add to that story, some years later, after my mum met my stepdad, who's Tom, she met him, and obviously eventually came round. He eventually stayed there a few nights, kind of thing, and he got up in the middle of the night and left. Apparently, he woke up in the middle of the night and felt as if he was being choked.
Oh God, no.
It wasn't me mum, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's it.
But
Wow.
it wasn't me mum. But he said that I'm not sleeping in this house again, and so he left. I don't think he ever slept in the house again. But my mum found out. I think just as she about to put the house on the market to move in with Tom at his place up in Chelsea Street, that she found out that the lady that lived there last, died in the garage. She killed herself.
Oh,
I know it's a tragic story, but she found that her husband had been cheating on her, and she killed herself in the garage via gassing herself in the car.
oh gosh, bless her.
Um, and you just wonder. You wonder if, like, it's one of them things where did the spirit of that lady come back to you because she didn't like men, and that's where the whole choking thing may have come from. With Tom, my stepdad.
Wow.
I don't know. Sorry, dog's going nuts.
It's all right. I've got one who's sleeping. Mine gets bored, luckily. But wow, I bet you'd be intrigued to go back, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a bit difficult.
There's me,
Yeah,
mate.
Eric says it. Yeah, it would explain him being choked.
Yeah.
Hi, Steve. Hope you're well. That's Haunted Oklahoma. Cheers. He's got a great page. Steve has. I often comment on there. I'll share it later. Hi, Carl. Hope you're well. I'm meeting Carl soon in about 3 weeks, I think. I've got this. So from Teresa. Peter had an episode where he woke up in sweats and could envision a black and white tiled floor and was fearful for his mum and dad. At the time they were in Malta. He phoned them, told us vision, and he described the floor of the house he was staying in.
Mad.
Yeah. So it's
Peter's
quite
my dad. Peter's my dad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you had quite a lot happening around.
Yeah. Strange that. I mean, I don't really recall that me Andy's ever telling me that one before. But thanks, Auntie Teresa, for that one.
Yeah. I think you lot need to talk and get a story.
I know.
Because you've got so much. Like, if you put it all together, you could do a documentary. You could do a YouTube on it. Truly. Yeah, you could. That's with it
family
being a personal interest as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Family ghost stories.
Yeah, there you go then. Guess what?
You heard it here first.
Yeah. So you do great, well presented YouTube as well.
Oh, thanks very much.
I'm just appalled. I can't do banners, and I do photography, but I can't put clips together. I need editing software, and it's the patience and the time. But it's the way you get the information and you deliver it, you present it.
That's
I enjoyed it. I actually need to catch up on all your YouTube. I've only caught a bit of it, but yeah, I definitely want to. I always
kind of watch I always kind of roughly keep the same format. So I always start off with a bit of an introduction kind of thing, a bit of a cinematic kind of introduction to the video. And then I just go into do a bit of narration as well, and then try to do a little bit of clips of narration through the video, depending on what kind it is. Obviously, with the East Drive video, it was quite a long video, so I it broke up into sections. But that whole history part of the East Drive video took me a long time.
Of course it would, yeah. Wow. Everyone knows the basics, but my gosh, the stuff you put together about the war and things like that.
Yeah.
You come out with like different perspective on everybody, and the fact that a lot of houses on the estate might be affected as well.
Yeah.
Which everyone just thinks East Drive, and the house next door I'm not sure about.
Yeah.
What can you say?
People, it's fair enough. I mean, well, if East Drive is haunted, if East Drive is genuinely haunted, there's no reason why the neighbour's house can't be haunted either.
That's right. It's just the problem that they're the key holder for East Drive.
I know. There's people always have that kind of like speculation.
You've always got that, haven't you? But then, isn't it natural that the neighbours, they're going to have a key there, aren't they? So
yeah.
It's
obviously the guy that owns the place as well is obviously a film producer as well. So
I didn't actually know that either. I obviously knew the film When the Lights Go Out. I knew of that, obviously. I've seen it, but I don't actually click that he was in. Which helps, doesn't it? And obviously they don't actually let you. Well, they say that you shouldn't film there or take photos, which actually has put me off going.
Yeah.
But I do want to go just to say I've been, really.
Yeah, definitely. If you go once, if you get the chance, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. My mate's going in July, but I can't make it on a work day, so we'll see.
Yeah.
I did have a question for you then. So you do YouTube's videos and was a question. Oh yeah, there you go. So Tracy, welcome, Tracy Sylvia Line.
Hi,
What
Tracy.
inspired Mark to do paranormal videos then?
Well, what inspired me to do is I started watching paranormal. I mean, always everybody always, they like the most haunted thing with the vet field and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. But then, we believed that at first, and then, obviously what happened, and then
Yeah, that's
that
right.
that, that just went to pieces.
It did get, yeah, but it did get me into paranormal.
Yeah. It got
You
it
know,
got a lot of people into
I,
paranormal.
it piqued my interest. I realised it was a thing. I made a
Yeah,
New Year's resolution after the first series to see if ghosts existed. That was a
yeah,
question for a New Year's resolution, which is rather random, me and my ex. And
yeah.
then in 2003, I booked my first 2 ghost hunts.
Well,
And it's there, isn't it?
yeah.
After doing it enough, you see different things about Most Haunted and
Yeah.
things.
It was a good show. And,
It
you know,
was, yeah,
I think
definitely.
the last time it was on, sorry, I've got a bit of food stuck in my teeth. Sorry, quickly wolfing me dinner down before.
Oh,
Yeah, so I mean, the last one I watched, I think, was October, the Halloween 2020,
oh wow,
maybe
okay.
2020. But they're just panning across the opening shot of panning across this disused big hall kind of thing, big old hall in probably some stately home somewhere.
Yeah.
And then within, I clocked the time on it. Within 5 minutes of the opening footage, there was already a chair being thrown across the whole room.
Ooh, as it does, yeah, really. Yeah.
But yeah, to answer Tracy's question, is I got into it because I started watching things on YouTube and wanted to see about who else does ghost hunting and stuff like that. And then I found a few people, but
Yeah.
a friend of mine up in Nottingham said when I talked
Oh,
to her,
okay. I'm in Nottingham.
I've got some friends that live in near oh god, Gedling.
Gedling, yeah. That's the
Yeah,
other side
yeah,
of the city from me, but yeah, I know Gedling. Yeah.
yeah. They used to live in Carlton, but then they moved
Yeah.
just
Oh,
further out to where
up and
to
down hills to get, yeah.
yeah. You just you might God, there's some serious hills there, that's for sure.
Oh,
But
God, yeah.
yeah, they she said to me when I started getting into it, she says, "Oh, why don't you come to Nottingham? We'll do the This was in 2020, early
Mm.
2020." She said, "Why don't you come to Nottingham? We'll do the haunted antiques place there in the cinema."
Oh,
So I
the
says, "All right." This
cinema.
is,
Wow. That was
but obviously,
amazing.
but it's not there anymore now, is it? They moved it
No,
on.
it's a shame,
Um,
but yeah.
but so yeah, I looked at it on YouTube to see what it was all about. And then I happened to actually see a few people have done it, and then I saw the Ouija brothers, and then I started thinking, oh, I really like them. They seemed quite genuine
Yeah.
from other people I'd seen. Um, and then and then I watched that one, and then I watched another one of theirs, and I watched another one of theirs, and I just started watching all of their stuff. I became like a bit of a fanboy of theirs. To be fair, I
Oh,
mean,
that's sure.
now I've met them quite a few times, and we do talk reasonably often. But yeah, so we become like friends really. So it's fantastic to actually become friends with people you actually really liked. And yes, Tracy says, yeah, getting lost on Pendle Hill. That was another one with the Ouija brothers I did.
Was
Jesus,
it?
that was a hard slog walk. That was
Oh
blimey.
God, I bet it was. I've seen it from the car. I've
Yeah,
seen it from one of the towns where they've got the graveyard. And oh my God, yeah. What a hill.
but we went up to the top of Pendle Hill, which was kind of okay. It was a hard slog anyway.
Yeah.
Hi, Michelle. And we went round the long way and we decided to go right the way along the ridge, along the moorlands, and we were just totally off piste. It was just like, but Griff was just saying, "Yeah, I know where we're going." We must have walked for hours through this, through bog and marsh and
Oh, nice.
and heather. And oh god, it was dark by this time as well. It felt like it was going to be one of them American Werewolf in London type scenarios,
Oh,
don't stray
wow.
off the path, because we weren't actually on a path at all. It was just It was
over
nuts,
the
but it was
holidays.
it was hellish fun though. It was fantastic.
Oh, I
I
bet.
wouldn't it was my legs ached for the whole week afterwards, but it was worth it. That's for sure, definitely.
Yeah, it's nothing like walking through bogland, is there? Just
Yeah,
sinking
yeah,
into it. And, oh God, yeah. Lovely with thistles up, like spiky
yes,
things,
yeah,
aren't
yeah,
they?
yeah.
They're wonderful. But yeah, I've done that.
But
Not
yeah,
up
yes, definitely,
there.
definitely. But and then I got into talking to Steve through text, through we like it through Facebook,
Yeah.
and I said I was going to I said, I'm going to try and do this for myself instead of like watching other people do it. I'm going to try and see if I can find any kind of evidence for myself. And he says, yeah, go on, do it. He says, just get out there and find some way. He says, there's bound to be somewhere local kind of thing. So I did, and I filmed. I think I filmed the first 3 videos I ever did on my phone,
Awesome.
until I got me proper camera. And that was just the bug from then, really. I just got the bug after that. And I just kind of followed in their main vein, really, because obviously they're very honest guys and they do a lot of their own debunking as well. And
Yeah.
I really like that approach rather than doing. I'm not saying, I'm people that do this stuff for entertainment purposes, which is fine, perfectly fine. If they
Yeah.
like doing it, then that's, I have no qualms against that at all. I just can't. What gets under my skin really is that people are doing blatantly fake things just for the
What
sake
is
of
the point? Yeah, I can't
view.
be bothered.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're just cheating yourself. You really are.
Yeah.
That's how I see it anyway. I mean, they might have a different plan altogether, and if they like doing it, then more power to them. I'm not going to I'm not going to badmouth anyone at all because if they enjoy doing it, then just do it.
Well, everyone's got their own path and journey, haven't they?
Yeah, everyone's got their own
So,
path and
if
journey.
they want to do entertainment or whatever,
Yeah,
that's up
yeah.
to them. And it's not something I watch. But hey, I'm one of not, like
Yeah.
people watch other shows, don't they? When
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%.
which has
Yeah,
some strange things happening, demons around the corner everywhere. And yeah,
yeah.
I suppose they do.
People are getting scratched left, right, and centre.
Yeah, I know. I have actually seen that a couple of times, but not that frequent.
No, no. But then
Yeah,
it wasn't too long after I'd started talking to the Ouija brothers, and I think they invited me on one of their live streams.
Oh,
So
brilliant.
I got a bit of publicity that way. To be fair, when I hadn't actually been doing YouTube stuff very long, and that wasn't too long after that because I see Neil in chat as well, where
Oh, is he? I haven't seen him yet.
John and Neil invited me on their show.
Yeah, he is.
Booze and Booze.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Neil, how you doing, pal? Me mon.
Yeah,
I
they're
mean,
awesome.
me mate in there as well, Steve, who comes out on my investigation with me a lot, whose name is Biggest Dickus on there. That's a reference to Monty Python, not Monty Python. Not that I'm saying he's got. He's got.
I'm not saying anything. What can you say? Since we had the issue where I might get your name wrong, and then straight away you see Biggest Stickers come on.
Yeah. You're never going to get that one wrong, are you?
No. That's quite clear. It's big and it's
But no, it was great. It was great to actually to meet. Obviously, then I went and met Neil and I went and met the Ouija brothers, and then met Neil and John and Luke and all the other guys that come with them as well because they've got quite a big crowd. But no, it was fantastic to meet them all. I mean, they were the first 2 paranormal teams I actually went out and met. Fantastic lads, all of them, and we've been great friends ever since. To be fair.
Oh, that's cool. I've met the lads. Booze and Booze because he used to both do a show at Haunted Antiques, so
yes.
I met him there, so that was cool. Yeah.
Yes.
Great laugh, and saw one of them recently when Mark came over from Auckland. So
yes, Mark Warbank.
Mark Warbank, yeah.
Yeah,
oh, wow.
Yeah. I was meant to go. I was meant to go to that.
Are you joking? Oh my gosh! Yeah, it's awesome. No. Well, it's really quiet, but it's as funny as hell.
Yeah.
It's a laugh a minute, but first time ever, it was really quiet, but not about laughing. But yeah.
Laurie and Jones, who you might know from.
She sort of helped organise it, didn't she? So,
yeah.
I met Laurie in there. Yeah, it was brilliant. That we were just crying with laughter most of the time. It's just too funny.
You definitely would do with Neil and John in the room. That's for sure.
Oh God, yeah. I think it's only Oh, I don't know which one's which. I always get them mixed up.
Orange.
uh,
Well, Neil's orange, and he's the one with
Neil's
the
there,
with the
yeah,
white
Neil's
hair.
there, yeah, Neil's there. But yeah, it was. Oh, it's funny as hell. It really was. And it's coming back to UK in September, so
Yes.
it's coming to the Para meet. So yeah, I'll see him
Yeah.
there. Are you
I
going
am.
to that one?
I am hopefully going to be going to that.
Oh, cool. It'd be great to meet you. Yeah.
It's in the beginning of September, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, beginning. Yeah.
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 So
I think.
that
I
should
think.
be a good gig.
I think. I was talking to Lorian about it. She was saying like she's. I think she's doing because she obviously does. She does for Haunted Magazine. That's where this is from. Haunted
Oh yeah,
Magazine.
yeah, that's it.
I am advertising for Lorian.
Good. Yeah, great magazine by the
It
way.
is a great magazine, though. I mean,
Yeah.
I like it because I like the design on it.
Logo, yeah, it's cool.
Fantastic design, but it's it's a great magazine though. I really like it.
Yeah, it is. It's real, and that's it,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
You know, like I used to buy oh God, one of the mags, which it's awful, and it's fate, chat, it's fate, or one of them tacky.
Oh
Oh my
yeah, yeah, yeah,
God,
yeah.
Jesus Christ, the ghost pictures. Oh dear. You know, you just got frustrated by page 2. That was it in the bin. It's like, yeah, okay. I think I bought it because I know a friend who actually wrote for it.
Oh
But
yeah.
oh God, no, I couldn't even. Nah, new way. It's just too much rubbish in it. But hey, but you know, it's what people like, isn't it? You know,
It is. It
like
is.
once you go investigating, you see things differently, don't you?
You do. I mean, when I first started doing it, I mean, I expected to see things. I expected to see my first ghost. You know, you read you read up on
Yeah,
these because I mean I'm a great lover of folklore stories as well. So I read up on that's when I started reading up on history and folklore tales as well, and that became like a big
yeah,
part of my videos as well. Um, yeah, so I think the first 3 or 4, 5 videos that are of places that I went to, you expect to see things flying out the walls,
yeah.
but it never happened. So apart from me getting a bit scared on I think it was my 4th video when I went to
Oh, wow.
that was when I had my proper camera. I can't remember the name of the place now because I only went there once. But it's meant to be Hertfordshire's most haunted village or haunted town. And that's because there's loads of folklore tales that surround the whole town.
Wow.
I can't remember the name of it there now, but yeah, I was going up.
What Calverton or
No, no.
no.
Oh God,
You know, it's going to be like,
it's going to be it's going to be there somewhere.
yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm
We'll,
sure.
we'll
At
we'll
the
be
end
having
of
a
the day, like, oh, there you
yeah.
go.
That'll
Yeah,
be the last word out of my mouth at the end of the show.
yeah, there you go.
But no, I was walking up Rectory Lane in this place with just in night vision kind of thing, and you're deep in the countryside, and you
There you
can hear
go.
obviously.
Datchworth.
Was that Datchworth? Thanks very much, Steve. I'm glad you're.
Awesome.
I mean, Steve wasn't even there, but he was. He obviously pays attention.
That's awesome.
But yes, that walking up Rectory Lane, which is meant to be where you'd see this spectral horse and cart pulling
Right.
dead bodies in the cart. I mean, what a fantastic story to actually imagine if you even saw that. A spectral horse and cart
Wow.
full of dead bodies was from the plague era kind of thing. That's
Yeah.
that's the story around Rectory Lane and Datchworth. There's a few different stories around Datchworth. Really is. There's a lot there, to be fair.
Oh, that's cool. Sounds but there's like so many like villages and towns with history, aren't there?
Yeah, yeah,
And we don't know about it. I've not even heard of that one, you know? But we've
yeah,
got Calverton near us, which is supposed to be one of the most haunted, you know, places in Nottingham. And I've actually done an investigation at the pub there with Chris Conway event.
yeah,
But there's quite a few there, and you kind of want to get a small team in, don't you? Really?
yeah.
And then you sort of pick it, sort of small team with people, you know, and just find out from there what's really happening. But
Yeah.
yeah, I want to go to Eam as well.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, it's plague place in Derbyshire.
Yes, right.
So yeah, so I think they sort of basically kept everyone in to basically stop the spread of the plague.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, because someone caught it and they just locked
That's a bit.
themselves up. So, yeah,
That's
I
a bit
believe
morbid.
so, but I'm shocking at history, so I mean, it
all
sounds
sounds
a
a
good
bit.
story, doesn't it?
All sounds a bit Walking Dead.
So there you go then. Mark, the only person who's done investigations by himself, absolutely not a chance. It's bad enough doing a loony when there's people in the same building, let alone in Derbyshire, yeah. And Edinburgh's full of history.
It
Oh
is.
God, there's just so many interesting places. I've just booked on to a public event at the Castle Museum in York next
Ooh,
year.
that'd be nice.
Wow, what
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know how often it's investigated, and if Mackenzie's there because she actually works there, doesn't she?
yeah.
Shadows of York. So my God, that would be
That's going to be awesome. That's going to
yeah.
be. I mean, I don't know, just even to go into these places as well. It's just the history of these
Oh
places.
God,
Sometimes you just.
yeah.
That's. I tell you, even though I've never seen anything since I've been doing this. Sorry to break anyone's bubble that might be watching this and be thinking
Hey,
me
I
regaling
won't.
some kind of fantastic ghost story of me seeing something on my investigations, but I haven't. But
Oh, bless you.
I want to, but I just haven't. So I'm not gonna plagiarize or make anything up. That's for sure.
Oh,
But
bless you. I had this
sorry.
question earlier, and I've been trying to get onto it, but
Yes,
Teresa, thank you. So when is the new Hill House video out?
Hill House. I love that place. It's fantastic. It's now become one of my most favourite places to go. I mean, I loved it the first time I went.
Oh wow.
Um, it's in. Well, to answer that question, Teresa, before I get into this, Hill House video will be out. In all honesty, it might not be out for about the next month or so yet. I am finding it. I've got 4 videos to try and make,
Oh, bless you.
um, and I'm finding it difficult to actually find time to actually get to sit down and start going through them. I've started the Jamaica Inn video,
Oh,
so
brilliant.
I was at Jamaica Inn at the beginning of the year, with Steve and Diane, and there was like a load of other people came as well. So it was like a load of obviously Karen from South Bristol Paranormal, and she
Oh,
obviously runs
so.
she runs the paranormal team down there as well
Yeah, I
at
spoke
Jamaica
to
Inn.
her recently. Yeah,
Yeah, she's
which is
wacky.
brilliant.
She's as mad as a box of frogs, but she's a lovely lady.
Oh, she is. Yeah, I never really had much to do with her, and then one day I did a podcast. Podcast. Yeah, she's so cool. Yeah,
She is
uh,
grand.
but people
But
are. There's so many decent people around, aren't they?
there is.
You just hear about the negativity, but there are some amazing people.
There's some fantastic people within the paranormal field. There really is. And I'm thankfully I haven't met any. I haven't met any bad people. To be fair,
Oh, good.
I'm quite touch wood. That doesn't happen to me really, but it's one of them things. But yeah, Hill House is in Ross on Wye.
Right.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah, my friends have been, and they had an issue. Yes.
yeah,
A
it's a
massive issue. Yeah.
it's a fantastic place. It really is.
Yeah.
The owner is a great bloke. Very eccentric to say the least. But no, fantastic bloke, and I got to know about the place because I went there with Lorian.
Wow.
So the video coming up with there was meant to be a few of us actually. Neil and John and some of the Paralytics lads got invited. They couldn't make it. Lorian's friend Carl was meant to go there as well that weekend. We did 2 nights at Hill House, and in the end, I was just thinking, oh, good, I wonder if it's going to get cancelled. But Lorian said, she still want to do it if you don't mind, just doing it, me and you. I said, I don't mind. As long as you don't mind. She said, no, she's all grand. I said, well, good, we'll go and do it. So the first night we went there, we did. I told her, I said, well, just try this. We did. First night we went there, no cameras, no gadgets, no nothing.
Cool.
So we just did total bare bones paranormal investigation of the place. Had a few strange things happen, kind of thing. Nothing out of nothing I want to put my finger and say, yep, that was paranormal. But yeah, I got freaked out a few times. my eyes start watering a bit if I get a bit too scared, and there was a few scary moments there, to be fair. But as Lorian says, she calls it juicy eyes, juicy eyes. But yeah, but no, it was. But the second night we went, it was second night we were there. I actually caught her on camera. I've posted. I haven't posted it yet, Beanie. I've shared it with a few friends. I shared it back to Lorian. I made like a little edit of it, and I'm gonna probably make I'll post a short video of it. But it was an EVP that we caught when we were sat. We tried to make a Singapore theory type scenario where we were sat in the room next to my bedroom, which is what Lorian calls the conference room, but it's directly below the Dryads room, which is apparently quite an active room. We made a fire, started playing cards. I had I don't really use them this much these days. With the word bank, the ghost tube app, that kind of thing. I had that going in the background kind of thing. And so when we started playing cards, we were playing rummy kind of thing. And I said, I'll just ask, is anybody in this room apart from myself and Lorian would like to come and sit down and play cards with us? And there he is.
Yeah.
Hello.
He was chasing a fly near the TV.
All right.
Yeah.
But I asked if anybody wanted to come and play cards with this kind of thing, and then the word bank said why, and I said, well, I think Lorian said, well, you don't have to if you don't want to. Nobody's forcing you. And then as soon as she'd finished saying that, there was like a voice came up, which I thought was her, and it just went, ooh, that kind of thing, as if as if to say a retort to the question she'd asked. Yeah. And then she immediately said, did you hear that woman's voice? I says, no. I says, that was you, because I wasn't really looking at her at the time.
Yeah.
But I have got the camera pointed at us both, and her mouth movement, I've slowed it down and looked at it several times. Her mouth movement is, to make that kind of noise, you can't even make it in your throat accidentally, without actually making the O sound making the O shape with your mouth. It's a really weird one. Yeah. So I mean, if that is real, I'm not saying it is real, but if she did make the noise, she made it unawares to herself. That's for sure. Wow. But she swears but she didn't make that noise. And I've had a friend, Carl, who's known her for years. I sent him the footage, and he within a few minutes he sent me it back and said, that's not her. I can guarantee that's not her voice. So I don't know. Is it paranormal? Was it just something else happening at the time? But I don't know. Yeah. But it was another one that really freaky. I got major goosebumps after that.
Awesome! Oh, it's brilliant. It's what we do this for, isn't it? It's. But yeah, that's so cool. Neil, then, have you been to the Ancient Ramin? One place we need to investigate. I had a tour there the other week. If you could say if any house is haunted, it would be that one. Brilliant.
I have been to the Ramin. Me and Steve spent all night there. So this was before that. Apparently, the Ancient Ramin now. Was that Tracy correcting Neil?
Yeah, it's a video on it. Yeah.
So I have been to the Ancient Ramin before they started changing their way they do things. Just before, actually, within about a month of us being there, they'd actually changed the whole how they go about getting people in to do it, to go investigate it. So when me and Steve went there, we paid literally, I'm not sure, we paid, I think it was like 70 quid each. I think it was 70 quid each. And you paid per person, to a maximum of 20 people were allowed in there at any one go. Obviously, they've got cameras everywhere, kind of thing. So there's nobody there to greet you. You just get given like a code to get in. And so we were there from 7:30 in the evening till 8:30 the following morning.
Awesome.
and I thought it was quite a quiet night. I think I even say on the end of the video as well, I'm going to call this, I'm going to dub this video "Dead Silent" or something like that. I think I might have called it. Because I even said literally it's not happened, nothing's happened. But when I went through the footage, a few odd things happened. I'm not going to say it was anything paranormal, but there's a few things in there that make you think. That's for sure. But yeah, interesting place. And as Neil said, if there's anything there, if there's anything, I mean, even if the stories aren't to be believed, I mean, the place is ancient. If there's going to be anything there, stone tape theory. If you go down that route.
Interesting.
I mean, the building is just literally made of stone. So if you're going to go down the stone tape theory route, if anything that's happened there, then why not? Why not?
All of it. Yeah. But like anything, you've got the land around. I think every building has got something going on. Like turns out I did go close to where I live. Just around the corner in the school, and I found out that my house is actually on graveyard.
Really?
Graveyard, yeah, awesome.
So the house you're living in there now?
Yeah, it's great,
wow.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Nice.
I've not had them come through, but I do have quite a bit happen. But I'm out and about every weekend, so I think some things come and visit, and I've got a couple of dolls and.
Interesting.
Yeah, I just I didn't mean to. It just happened. But yeah, it just doesn't it?
Yeah, it just does, yeah. I mean, you find out some wonderful things sometimes about your local. I mean, your local, yeah. Steve, yeah. We went. Both of us. We slept in the bishop's room. Reputedly the most haunted room in there. So we slept in the bishop's room. Steve was out for the count within as soon as he headed the pillow. I think we went to sleep at about We went to sleep about 3:30 in the morning, or something like that. He was gone. I was still wide awake the majority of the bloody night, listening. Constantly listening for anything that might actually happen. Start hiring. Yeah, start hiring out. Yeah,
I like it. It's like, I don't know. I was talking to someone. I don't know if it's on a podcast or something. I said, things keep falling off. I could sit here, then something will fall on the ground or in the next room, and I just said, I just get random things falling, and then something fell. It's like, no, it's normal.
Yeah, interesting stuff, that, isn't it? I mean, it's nice. I mean, I'm sure. I think Neil's friends, obviously my friends of ours as well, Kay and Craig Maloney. They have an interesting house as well. I think they have a railway line that goes past the bottom of their garden, and I think there was a crash there. Neil might be able to actually tell me something a little bit better. And they pick up things within their house. They have a few different spirits in their house, and I think this because of the train crash nearby. I'm sure there's something else there as well within the grounds of the estate that they live in. I'm sure it is. But I was just actually talking to one of my friends who I met through YouTube, American couple, Amy and Ryan's. They used to be called Full Dark Paranormal, but now it's Amy and Ryan's Weird Adventures. So they're a couple. They've moved house. They live in Albany, kind of New York, new state of New York, and they moved out to the sticks, kind of thing. And they've just posted there today that Amy's found out that that in their wooded area, because they've got this big wooded area out, which is their garden really. It's the part of it was a pet cemetery.
Lovely.
I saw a word back saying, only you two would find that.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. You just don't know what is hidden or buried, though, do you?
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
It's amazing. I do tend to share things on my page where, they'll find somewhere. Oh gosh, Rutland Way. I think they found the floor of a Roman villa still intact under a farmer's field.
Wow.
Well, you wouldn't expect that, and
no,
who
not
knows?
At all.
It could be anywhere.
Yeah.
It's just so much stuff around, isn't there? And we just don't know about it. Villagers would know about something, they'd know about a story, then years on the story would just disappear, wouldn't it? And
yeah, definitely.
You just don't know what's around. And
all
the stories as well, you see this grey ghost or whatever, and someone's seen it, or
Someone's seen it,
it's
or something,
weird.
and then
Yeah,
maybe I would that's again that's down to folklore tales, isn't it? The
yeah,
majority is down to
exactly.
these stories get handed down through the generations and the
Yeah,
centuries, and before you know it, the place is full of ghosts.
yeah, that's right. It's like we have a few, and you get the Nottingham Ghost book, and then you think, yeah, okay, you're not really going to see that, are you?
Yeah.
Treasurer's House in York, there's a famous story there, isn't there, about soldiers, which is
Yes.
interesting. But yeah, I don't know if anyone more recent's seen it.
Well,
So
there's a story comes from my hometown. I'm from Durham originally, the old city it is. Durham has a cathedral and a castle,
yeah,
and the castle is meant to be. Or people have seen. I mean, there's always a monk somewhere, isn't there? But people have seen monks, but they walk. You only see them from the knees up.
ah, yeah,
Not the doing comedic kind of impressions of things, but apparently the original floor was a lot lower down,
yeah,
and it's been added on over the years. So it's where
yeah.
yeah.
That's like the Treasurer's House in York. Then same sort of story.
Hmm.
Sort of just seeing part of a leg. So yeah, it's great when you sort of get the same story somewhere else, though, isn't it? And it
Yeah.
sort of validates it more.
Yeah, yeah. I think these stories seem to repeat sometimes, or even
Yeah,
not so much repeat, but there's a lot of similarities between various stories.
yeah, and then it sort of gives it more credibility, doesn't it?
Yeah,
When like sometimes if I have an experience, I'll share it, and then if someone's going, "Wow, I've had that happen," and
yeah,
you think it's the most random thing ever, and like everyone's going to think you're stupid, but when someone else gets that, you think, "Yeah, okay."
yeah,
I once used a Ouija board. Well, I've used them loads, but and there's always glitter on top. So we just left it, and it's just this glitter, beautiful colour, bright glitter, just floating above it.
yeah.
And it's pretty so goddamn random, and my eyes are thinking, "What the hell?" So you're
What's in
like
me
yeah,
drink?
and it was still doing it. It's like, oh my god, like it's energy, isn't it? Maybe above
Yeah,
it, and does
yeah.
can
Could be.
energy
Yeah.
actually show itself like that? And then you
Well,
mention it,
why
and
not?
somebody else says, "Yeah, I've seen that as well."
Yeah,
Oh my god, how cool is that?
yeah.
It's so beautiful and wow, random,
Yeah.
but yeah.
But at the end of the day, there's no experts in this field whatsoever. Anybody that says they're an expert
Oh yeah,
is just, just
full
pulling
of
your
it,
leg.
really.
Yeah, they are. I mean, there's obviously people that are more experienced in it. Obviously,
Oh, exactly, yeah.
you've been in this field seemingly a long time.
Well, I think, oh God, 8 years ago I started development. So
Yeah,
I did a few ghost hunts then, but then something really happened to me. So that's why I do
yeah,
it every week.
yeah.
Um, it happened and I never wanted to do it again because it scared the
Right.
hell out of me. So
Mm,
in the cold light of day, it's like, what happened? Oh
mm.
shit, let's do it again. I've switched off my scared filter now. I don't do scared.
Yes, I must say my tolerance
Switched it off.
has become a little bit. I'm a bit more thicker skinned to being scared, although it still does get me sometimes. Um, Definitely, mind you, I think the last time I got genuinely scared, even though I knew it wasn't anything spooky, was I did a lawn vigil at Houghton House. Oh God, it was last year sometime. It was like back end towards the back end of the summer last year.
Okay.
Me and Steve had actually been there about we'd unbeknown to us at the time, but we were trying to do the investigation there during the summer holidays, I think it was. So every
God,
time
no.
the kids, it was a good walk really from the town, but the kids would actually walk through there. They just take a long walk through, and you were getting disturbed at all kind of. I think we tried like 3 or 4 times, and then we just kind of gave up. So I think it came a few weeks time. I tried myself, and I said to Steve, "Do you want to go back and try for like a fourth or fifth time?" He says, "Nah," he says, "You go by yourself. It'll make for a better video." But so I went there by myself, and it was quite creepy by yourself. It is a lot more creepy by yourself, that's for sure. But
Yeah, it does change things.
yeah, definitely,
It really
definitely.
does. Like anyone, like I've said it because like I go to Haunted Antiques quite a lot,
Yeah,
and he'll, he sometimes he goes upstairs on his own, but not often, you
yeah,
know.
yeah,
And yeah, I went up there, and it is a bit weird on your own,
yeah.
no matter how long you've spent in there and everything. So, I've got a couple of same questions coming up. Have you ever
Yeah.
known anyone who's a spirit magnet?
Um, um, uh, I'm going to say, yeah. I think Diane, who was appearing on a few of my videos, Diane Chambers. She's been doing this
Yeah,
for a lot of years as well. She is quite good at not so much channeling, but things just seem to happen around her.
yeah,
Um, and I also think as well, I think Griff from the Ouija Brothers he's quite sensitive to these things as well. And
good.
I think things follow him around as well sometimes, not in a bad
Yeah,
way, but
yeah,
I think that he's interested in who he is. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know about Neil and John. I think Steve's had a few things in the past happen at his old house.
was it?
Um, but Steve found out that his house was built on the site of a former hospital. Um,
Wow.
and every now and again, didn't happen very often. I think Steve will probably tell me otherwise, but I don't think it happened very often. Just once in a blue moon, and you would get people. Sorry, was that my phone?
That's all right.
You get once in a while, you get people come along. Not people, sorry. You would hear voices just saying hello, like a female voice kind of thing. And they would get doors moving every now and again and
Wow.
closing
Okay.
by themselves. But he said it didn't happen very often at all. But yeah, it's a strange old place, that's for sure.
Oh, getting interference. That was weird.
It's that Saxon burial ground.
You know when you get a phone ringing, it's like I was getting interference for no reason that I know of. It's not my
Ah,
phone ringing or anything. That was weird. Okay, I've got a couple of questions then. Teresa and Neil, same question.
all
And there
right.
must be a reason for it. No
Have you ever
doubt.
had a Ouija board experience? Well, I haven't had a Ouija. Well, I have had a Ouija. I've done Ouija boards in the past as kids, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I've not. I've done. We did one once at the house that John said. John, what did you say? John, what? John does say I'm a bit of a spirit magnet.
I think
Be
some
a beer magnet, maybe, mate.
oh, bless you.
Um,
Babe magnet, yeah.
well,
Yeah,
not a beer
I have
magnet.
been getting some weird interference there, so I don't know what's
All
going
right,
on. So,
strange.
yeah, who knows?
It could happen live on this podcast.
Oh, I've
Imagine
had
that.
it. Well, I've had it before where we've had conversations coming in. So me and Lois have been chatting, and then there's been this weird conversation coming in the background.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so one or two things we've had like extra conversations going on. Oh God,
Nice.
Neil keeps getting stuck in the fridge. No doubt. There's some beer in your hand yet. You don't keep ale in the fridge, do you? A bit.
You don't keep ale in the fridge. You can keep his
No,
beer, but
I don't want it that
he
cold.
likes he likes the modern beers,
Oh, okay.
the American IPAs and such like.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like my ales.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like ale.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I love a good ale myself.
Oh. Yeah, I used to. Oh God, what was it? Cumberland. Oh, there's one I used to sell, which was like a Guinness and a chocolate flavour.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it's called Snack Lifter or something.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
Jennings.
yeah, Jennings. Yeah,
Jennings snack
I used
lifter.
to. Oh my God, that used to fly out. It's high percentage. I loved it. Yeah, it's like I used to have a pub, so I used to get
All
a bit
right.
of ale on just for me, really. So,
Yeah.
we've got Lorien on. Yay! Oh yeah,
Oh, there she is.
here she
Loza,
is. Talking about
I
you.
hope you're realising what I'm doing, Lorian. For God's sakes. I want royalties for wearing this.
Oh, bless you. or a free mag, free copy of a mag. There you go.
Yes, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to Ouija boards, I have personally not had an experience through it. The most recent one I did was the back end of last year. The first one I'd done since I was a child. Was at the House That Cries, Graiseley Old
Oh,
Hall.
Graiseley, yeah. Not get mixed up with the other one. How could two locations have a similar name?
Yeah, it's
Very
straight.
different.
Yeah, they've got a very similar name. Yeah. But yeah, nothing really much happened on that one there, to be honest. Although it was a very enjoyable night with Kay and Craig doing like a whole Victorian séance night. It was
Wow,
it was
awesome.
fantastic. Really good experience, to be honest. Yeah, but no, I don't think that when it came to doing the actual Ouija board itself, and nothing, the planchette never moved. But yeah, fantastic. But yeah, the Ouija board thing that happened when I was a kid. It was one of the girls that we were in like a big group kind of thing. That we used to hang around, a load of us like lads and lasses together. But one of the girls had apparently asked a question which she only knew the answer to, something about like I think it was something about a mother or something like that, and it kind of spelt it out, and she she ran off crying and screaming, that kind of thing. Yeah, as you do when you're teenagers, I suppose.
Well, you would, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a laugh. It's just a game, isn't it? And then if they realise that something's out there, it's like, oh shit, this is real.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
definitely.
Wow. So you've been to so many cool locations, like Chillingham. You mentioned,
Chillingham was
video, isn't it?
That's my latest video. That's again, what an experience to go there and do that. Like a year after I'd gone and done like the walk around during the day. I mean, that was fantastic. I mean, actually, the first video I did from Chillingham, which was like the the vlog, I suppose you want to call it that, like just walking around during the day. I wasn't even meant to be there that day. I'd gone up to see my mum for a few days up in Durham, and I was going to go somewhere else. I'd taken my camera. I think I was going to go to Finkel Priory, because all I remember, Finkel Priory is on the other side of Durham. I was going to go there and do some filming. So I went to scout it out during the day, and at first time I'd been there since I was a kid, since I was like maybe 18, 19 years old. I mean, I'm 51 there now, and that just happened the other year. So went back there, and they got the whole place closed off. You have to pay to get in and all the rest. You can't just walk around. And it was just like they had like hours of business as well, so you couldn't go in after like say 6 o'clock in the evening. So I knocked that on the head. So and then I said to my mum, I says, well, she says, why don't you go up to all right, John?
Yeah.
So I went up to where she says, why don't you go up to Chillingham Castle? I says, you've never been there, because again, my mum and dad used to take us there when we were kids. I didn't really remember much about it then, to be honest. But she knows you can go up there and pay a small amount, and you can go and walk around and see the castle. And as you can see, if you ever watched the video, it was an absolutely cracking day. It was a scorcher of a day, beautiful to be around, and I really enjoyed it. And I said then,
brilliant.
I'd love to come back here, and then a year later, Karen from Jamaica in Paranormal team.
Brilliant.
She, even though she's not in my video of that thing, she organised the whole event. So I went up there with Diane as well, and obviously Diane's been there quite a few times before. She knows a lot about the place, so you get a good insight of the place. But fantastic! I love Chillingham Castle. Love it, absolutely love it.
Yeah, I managed to get there, but I parked on the road the other side of it, and I had a dog. So I managed to get around the graveyard, but obviously you can't take the dog near the castle. And if it
strange.
So I left him on the main road and just nipped up the driveway just to have a view. But if I found the car park, which is around the other side, I totally missed it. I would have left him there and then just had a little quick look round, really.
No, if you're ever up that direction again, please, you got to pop in and see it. It's fantastic. It really is.
Yeah, no, I was there. I was on the driveway. I was on my land. But, it's like what you do with the dog. But, yeah, it's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah. But
I'm
yeah,
heading up to Scotland, so I might have to visit Durham on the way this time.
yeah. I mean, you can see Durham in a day, to be fair, but it's full of cobbled streets and oldie worldy places.
Wow, sounds cool.
It's a very old, city, very old city.
Yeah.
Apparently, the cathedral is, so they say, is one of the best examples of Gothic architecture in the entirety of Europe.
Wow, brilliant.
Yeah, it's smaller than obviously York Minster,
Yeah.
but yeah, just as nice though. Just in the inside is beautiful as well. You can take stairs to the top as well and have a look out there from the turrets.
Wow.
It's good. It's really good.
The cathedrals are stunning buildings, though, aren't they?
Yeah, you think how back in the day, how they even make things like that back in the day? It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. It's like all the work and how ornate they are and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, God, here we go. Are you colder than Eskimo's nutsack? There you go.
Question right? Are you? John always calls me. He always calls me Mister Freeze from the
Okay.
the dead
Yeah,
cold
just
thing.
mention that up there, yeah. I read it out. I don't care. It's cool.
Now, to be
Awesome.
honest, John, I'm quite warm here. You can see my cheeks are starting to get a bit red. To be fair, it's quite warm in here once my PC starts kicking up heat
Oh, gosh, yeah, definitely. From your little studio.
from my little studio under the stairs.
Yeah, that's cool, that is. It really is, yeah. No, I wouldn't want to go my under the stairs. No. Teresa's impressed. There you go.
Yeah, John, you get a ticking off from your auntie there, John.
So this actually goes out onto the Things Network. So is there anywhere in the US that you have been to or you want to explore if you get a chance?
I have never been to the US. I know I have been to the US once to go and do the whole Florida, Universal Studios, Disney World, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But no, that was just with like a past girlfriend's family. I mean, I'm talking like when I'm talking years ago. Yeah, it was when I was like maybe 25 or something like that.
Yeah, Disneyland World. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like you always want to go there. Oh, okay, you are going. You are going.
Oh, we are. Yeah. Well, apparently we are.
You are.
Amy and Ryan, who I mentioned before, who live in Albany in the state of New York, we've been invited over there, to be honest. And that's I don't know if that's when they get married because they're engaged there now. But I think if after Amy loves oldie world. I mean, obviously Ryan does as well. They all love coming. They come to England a few times and they love the oldie worldy, going out to London. Old Tower. I mean, I think Ryan was virtually hugging the Tower of London when he went there. It was fantastic to meet them. It really was. I'd watched their videos for about maybe a year and a half before I actually met them, and obviously Lorian came down with me as well. So if you actually go onto their YouTube channel, go through their videos, you'll see Amy and Ryan and me and Lorian in the same thumbnail because they did like a vlog tour of every place they'd been around Europe.
Wow.
And
awesome.
me and Lorian and I were in one of them when we met them in London. Fantastic to meet them, really was. Fantastic people. When they go to I think when they get married, we've been invited over. But I think, as I was saying, when Amy saw my Chillingham Castle video, she says, "I want to get married there." So I hope Ryan's got deep pockets if that's the case.
Oh, definitely. Oh, it'd be a great location though, wouldn't it, to get married in?
God, wouldn't it just?
Eric will hug the Tower of London too, but my God, what a place. I actually got married in a castle in Scotland.
Did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
2003, Googled Haunted Castle Scotland. There's loads of them. And Cumlungan Castle, which is Dumfries and Galloway, in the same place where the Wymans got married.
All right, nice.
And Emily from Emily Paranormal.
Wow.
So it's not so hidden that I know 3 people who've been married there.
Yeah.
It's just really random, isn't it? It's a woman who was due to get married through convenience, really, because a landowner wanted to get a claim on the castle.
Yeah.
And she fell off the top of the castle.
Oh my God.
So it's one way out of the marriage, whether she fell, pushed, or jumped.
Well,
It's,
yeah, that's the
it's
thing,
one
isn't
of
it?
them,
Yeah,
isn't it?
fell, pushed,
Yeah, that's it. And
slipped accidentally, slipped on purpose.
allegedly, she still haunts it. And I think it was another one where Mary Queen Scots resided, which is every single castle in the world, I think.
She's everywhere, that woman.
She gets around, doesn't she? And if you've got a castle, you say that she lived there. She was there, wouldn't you? You'd have to.
Yes. You'd have to. Yeah, you'd have to. You'd have to.
Just goes with the word castle, doesn't it?
But going back to America and places I'd probably like to visit, I'd really like to visit some of their like penitentiaries, the disused penitentiaries. They're so atmospheric. Alcatraz as well.
Yeah, Waverly Hills is massive.
Waverly Hills, yeah, huge,
my
brilliant.
Gosh.
The original Conjuring house is there as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Beautiful. I mean, fantastic. Again, America hasn't as got as lengthy history as what the UK has, but still, it's got some fantastic places. It really has.
Definitely, yeah. That's right. But yeah, like my dad used to work on the Queen Mary, which is so goddamn awesome in the engine room, and I really want to go and see that one day.
Wow,
that's as haunted as anything, isn't it? So
yeah. Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, and it's just some special places. So, Neil Smith, yeah, Alcatraz, but it's just concerning though if you're like empathic and you ended up on an island like Alcatraz. Drive you crazy, wouldn't it?
Well, it would. You'd have a gazillion voices in your head all the time.
Yeah, exactly. It was like no escape. You'd be jumping off trying to swim, wouldn't you? Just get out of there. Yeah. So, what sort of place do you prefer then to investigate? Castles, prisons? What sort of?
I do prefer the oldie worldy stuff. I love all. I mean, part of what I do as a job. I mean, I'm a carpenter by trade, but I'm not really on the tools anymore now. I've been for a lot of years, but I manage buildings. I manage building sites in and around, mostly in the West End of London. To be fair, we do a lot of refurbs or external decoration repairs of Victorian mansion blocks. So we're doing stonework, brickwork, redecoration works, but you get to see some fantastic buildings up close. You really do. With some all of them built from the 1880s through the early 1900s. Fantastic Victorian mansion blocks. I mean, obviously the West End of London's full of them, kind of thing. It's just, but there are some. Yes, I was. I am a chef as well. I am a trained chef as well. Believe it or not.
Oh my gosh, that's brilliant.
I haven't done that. I mean, it was that my long and short of my working career is left school, building trade, did that for about 6 or 7 years, left that, went into catering hospitality, did that for 8 years, then went back into building trade again, and I've been here ever since.
Yeah. Have you ever been to a site where it's sort of like virtually been bulldozed and you've had to get archaeologists in?
No, I've not. I've not. No.
Yeah.
One of the oldest places I've probably been into. I mean, apart from the castles, are obviously very old themselves. But one of the oldest places that I found out after doing research on it, and we're still trying to find research on it there now, is yeah, you would say that. is what on my videos is called Haunted Hill, but it's known. I mean, everybody. I mean, we called it Haunted Hill for a lot of years, for a few years, because I think the guy who introduced it to us lives in the village near us, and he didn't want all and sundry turning up.
Oh, God,
but it's called. It's in Wales, in Snowdonia. It's called Nanai. Pronounced or spelt, it looks like Nanu, but or Nanau, but it's pronounced Nanai, and it's the Nanai estate in on the other side of Snowdonia, and that's a Georgian mansion house there, set in its own huge acres of land. It's abandoned. I mean, I don't really condone going to abandoned places.
No, that's it.
But seeing as Martin, the guy that introduces to the building, lives in the village close by, and he knows the locals as well, it's as near as damn it kind of thing, and you
Well,
obviously.
that's right. If yeah,
I'm not saying we still are. I mean, apparently it's been abandoned since 2010. Uh,
um,
I hate to see it. It's a horrible. Every time I've been there, I go there. I've been there 2 or 3 times there now, and I'm
yeah,
hoping to go back this year. But Martin's saying he says the place has just fallen to wreck and ruin.
that's a shame.
You
And you
know,
get people lighting fires and
yeah,
vandalising and
yeah, yeah.
taking. It's just shocking, isn't it?
Well, I think what started the ball rolling was when it was abandoned. The local clowns got in there and nicked all the lead from the roof.
God's sake,
So
yeah.
it just rains in all the time. To be fair, but absolutely fantastic place. It really is. And we traced that back as well. The cellar, it goes back to the 1700s.
Wow.
And there's something on there as well. I think there's a brick, a stone that's on there that says 1616 or something. I think it says 1615.
Wow.
I believe there's actually been 2 houses, if not 3 houses, within that footprint of that whole area. I mean, again, absolutely. I mean, I've had there's photographs online. If you look at online,
Yeah.
Nanai Estate, Queen Elizabeth II's been there
Oh
when she
my
was younger.
gosh.
There's
Right.
black and white photographs. She's been there. It's a major. Right. I mean, the lords of Nanai were Welsh lords. They owned the whole place. I mean, royalty used to go there back in the days of yore.
My gosh.
And to see the place now is it's criminal. To be
Oh,
fair,
it is shocking. Yeah. That's right. You do see these fantastic buildings. Like I went to one in Scotland, and there's like a castle. Then a bit further on, there's another castle quite close to it. And just to see them, and you imagine what they were like in the heyday,
yeah.
like all the pride of the family,
Oh
building
God, yeah,
themselves a home, and like the interior decorating, and you can just
yeah,
imagine it. And
yeah,
how on earth does it happen? And I think more so now with the money situation, isn't it?
yeah, yeah,
And just maintaining, like
yeah.
Chatsworth. I've got Chatsworth House near me, and the
Oh yeah,
few
yeah.
years ago they painted it all gold leaf on it, and
Wow.
sort of put gold leaf in, on the outside, and
Yeah,
just sort that out again, and you just get these beautiful places, don't you? And it's great if
yeah.
a family can keep maintaining them, but
Oh, it is. It is
it
fantastic.
can be sad, yeah. And that's it, yeah. The graffiti, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Why, And
And it's
there
just
is a guy who goes round and he goes in and he takes photos, and much as though, yeah, I am against people sort of going in, but he does get photos and they're fantastic, and he captures it rather than what you do get.
yeah, definitely, definitely. But
Yeah,
no,
that's right. National Trust or Heritage,
yeah,
that other one, yeah. British English
English,
Heritage, yeah.
Heritage. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, because they've got Whitby Abbey,
yeah.
and I've got membership, so yeah, I like that one. Get cheap membership would work to English Heritage, so yeah, I always go up the Abbey when I can because yeah, it's gorgeous.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, but there are
No,
so many places.
I do like to go to places which, when I see a place, I like to research its folklore and stories. So I like to follow a good story. To be fair,
Oh, that's good.
so there's a reason for sometimes that I go to these places because if they have a lot of history about them and a lot of stories around them, especially ghostly stories or even grisly. Some of them have very grisly
Yeah.
pasts as well.
Oh, haven't they just?
Um, it's fantastic. I mean, that was one of the reasons why I'd made that story. Well, not it's reality. That's what the reality of East Drive was. There was a battle on that site between
Yeah.
Pontefract Castle, the Royalists, and the parliamentarians. So that actually happened on that site. So again, that's a story that needed to be told.
Oh, that's
Um,
right.
so yeah, that's one of the reasons I like doing this. Not only for the paranormal kind of reasons, but you get to poke around at some fantastic places. You, you really do, with history coming out of all nooks and crannies. It's some beautiful places. It really is.
Yeah, because like as far as I knew, like East Drive, it's just like a house. That's about
Yeah,
it. And
yeah,
you've got monks, haven't you? Obviously, and you've got the
yeah,
castle and
yeah,
end of really. But yeah, to say like the battle was fought and everything else
yeah,
thrown in, yeah, it sort of explains it more, doesn't it?
yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
I think the first time I actually was the first time. No, it wasn't the first time. I think it was the second time I'd met up with Neil and John. We went to when we met up with Kay and Craig. Lorian was there as well. A few other of the Dutch Courage were there as well.
Oh yeah, I've
Who's
met them guys. Yeah,
yeah.
met them.
We went to
Yeah.
we had a Guy's Cliff Mansion or Guy's Cliff
Oh
House
yeah,
in Warwick. What a fantastic place that is! I'd like to go back there again, to be honest.
yeah. I'm yet to go there.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's on my list.
yeah.
So a lot of places, but yeah, it's just some
There's so
incredibly
many.
nice
There's so
place.
many in
Yeah,
England. There's so many
well
through the
that's
UK, isn't
right.
there?
And
So many.
because I've got my hand, I'm kind of restricted.
Yeah,
I did mean to go to Jamaica in this year, but I'm at Parafest, I'm at a Parameet, and it's like
yeah,
there's only so many weekends you can go in the kennels.
yeah,
So yeah, I've got to be responsible here. So I'm
yeah,
kind of stuck to local, about an hour's drive sort of thing. That's about as far as I can go really.
yeah, yeah.
But
What do you
I'm
think?
already booking up for next year for the longer trips. So many places I want to go, just get a weekend away and
Yes, yes.
yeah, I want to go to Rougham Control Tower as well. That seems
Oh
quite
yeah.
active. Yeah.
There's a few. I can't remember the names of the places there now, but there's a few places, airfields and barracks that have actually floated into my conversations through
Yeah.
other people now and again, and thinking these are places I'd like to I'd like to go and visit.
Yeah. So like the forts down sort of Harwich and there's a good one this weekend, isn't there, with the Paracon are doing one. Well, they did it last Langard Fort, didn't they, with Penny Griffiths
Yeah,
Robbins there as well. And there's a lot of good places down there, but it's a long way to go. Not to
yeah,
get,
definitely. It is. There's a lot.
yeah. Oh, so where's Otto? Did we
Oh,
hear
Otto.
Otto?
Yeah, we heard Otto before, but I don't know where he's at. Are you there, fella?
Rocky?
No,
No,
he might
mine's asleep as
be
well.
asleep. If he wants to come in,
Mine's sleeping.
he'd probably just claw at the door. But
So I've got a question here from Neil Smith. I don't know how this one's going to go. Remember the video Adrian King showed us, Mark?
it's not that kind of video. So I think Adrian, Neil might tell me here, but I'm pretty sure Adrian King is the custodian or the caretaker of Guy's Cliff House.
Oh, okay.
He lives in the there's like a property just as you from the main road going in. There's like a what do you call it? Like a caretaker's house. I want to call it a caretaker's house. It probably was like a guard's house or something at one point. Gatehouse, sorry, a gatehouse.
Yeah.
So he lives there with his wife, I think. And he showed us some footage from their CCTV of because obviously they have CCTV on the actual gates, the gate opening itself.
Definitely, yeah.
Because it's such a big place, isn't it? But they had some I don't know. It was like almost looked like some swirling kind of like light mist, just kind of like seemed to come up out of the ground, and that came up out of the ground. It must have been, I don't know, it must have been like human size, like 6 to 7 foot tall.
Wow.
And then just seemed to move off, but it just seemed like just come up out of the ground and then move away. It was probably the weirdest thing I have ever seen, and it actually gave me the creeps. They showed us this just before we actually started investigating. So to get to see that, it was fantastic.
Oh, brilliant. I think I've seen a mist. So it's a monastery, Leicestershire direction.
Yeah.
And it's in ruins, so you can go there at night. And there's a mist, on the field, all right. But then this mist sort of came up, and it went towards a gatehouse, and it just kind of disappeared. That was it was just weird how it wasn't near the field where the rest of the mist was. It's weird how it moved together, and then it just kind of, it's weird, yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of us that spotted it obviously didn't get footage because
I
never do, but hey. Yeah.
It's the experience more than anything.
Well, no, I do tend to. I'm so busy trying to communicate with them because I've been trying to do development for 8 years.
Oh yeah,
So it's things like that. So I do try and see what I can pick up from them. So I
yeah,
don't always have a camera
yeah.
rolling.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah, yeah,
someone's actually called me for that. You know, how can you say this has happened if you haven't got footage to back it up? But
yeah.
whatever, I do it for my own purposes,
Well,
And,
exactly. At the end of the day,
everyone's doing their
at
own
the
thing, aren't they?
exactly. At the end of the day, you've had the experience, and nobody else can take that away from you. So
That's right.
it's up to them whether they choose to believe you or not.
Yeah, that's right.
Um,
I ain't bothered.
yeah, yeah,
I know the people around me, what they, witnessed and what I witnessed at the time. And,
yeah,
general with paranormal, the stories are so outlandish, aren't they, sometimes?
yeah, yeah,
And if you speak to somebody else, like, speak to a friend and go, oh, yeah, we did this, this happened. And they go, yeah, they'll believe you. But you
yeah,
say it to somebody who doesn't do paranormal, they're just like, what? And they just look at you going
yeah,
out,
yeah.
but it's just
I, of,
incredible.
I often thought if I actually, was doing these videos, if I actually catch something genuine footage of a ghost, of an apparition of some kind, just wanders into view on the camera, and I make a video of it and post it on YouTube. How many people are going to believe it, and how many people are going to actually call that out and say that's
Oh, I
fake straight
know.
away? I
I
mean,
know. It's just pathetic, isn't it?
unfortunately, I think unfortunately the fakers in the paranormal have probably spoiled it for the honest people that want to actually
Yeah,
want to try and
definitely.
find something. Because there's loads more fake stuff than there is honest,
And
unfortunately.
now it's going to get worse as well, isn't there, with that AI thing,
Yes, yes,
and it's ridiculous. I
yeah,
had a question at work, and I do, I deal with a lot of questions, and they're like trying to answer like exam type questions, and it's something I didn't know, and I trawled the internet to see if I could find out, and I asked my app,
oh
and
yeah,
it kind of had the same answer as me, and that was vague as well, because I couldn't find a definitive answer, but it was like nearly how I would have written it. So
ah,
yeah, so I nearly sent
interesting.
it. I nearly sent it out on the email, but yeah, it is. It is mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Like
Yeah,
people, even on about people writing books using it now,
yeah,
and like really,
yeah, yeah.
oh god, and they're on about which jobs are going to be like not required. And even the
I
people who've
know.
developed it have sort of said, we've gone too far here.
Yeah, yeah.
It really is scary, isn't it?
It is a bit, to be honest.
Uh,
You like to think that whole, but you wouldn't like to think
no, we don't
that
think.
whole
Oh wow.
what do you call it? The Matrix style thing starts happening
Oh gosh,
where we're
yeah.
living in like alternate realities, and then or the Terminator type thing.
Oh god, yeah. No.
See it, if that AI kind of stuff takes over.
Oh, it's
I think
scary.
I think it's a long way off yet, to be fair, but
Oh god, yeah, it's out of my time, hopefully. So
yeah,
there you go. Probably some of the best stories I've heard are mostly from some random person in the pub who don't
yeah,
even do paranormal. Yeah, that's right. And like, if you ever like, sometimes like I find it difficult to mention what I do.
yeah,
Like, if someone says, "Oh, what hobbies do you go?" Oh god, no, here we go. Which way is
yeah,
it going to go? But when you mention it, they've usually got a story,
yeah, yeah,
and they want to ask you about it as well because
yeah.
they've never had anyone to ask you about it.
I
Ask
did. You've hit the nail right on the head there, Jacqueline, because I've had a few people have asked me. I've had a stonemason at work.
Oh wow,
Once it found out that once he'd found out, because I kept it quiet at work for a long
you do,
time, to be
yeah,
fair, because then that you just get ribbed something serious. But although obviously there was a ribbon, that's for sure. But once
yeah.
people had found out about it, and they just got it over with, kind of thing. And but I had like a stonemason phoned me up and told me about some experience that he'd had in like in a hotel. He said I should have just remembered vividly having a woman looked like a Victorian maid
Wow.
in full dress woke up in the middle of the night, and she was there in the room, and she walked out of the room and disappeared. He said it was the
Wow.
maddest thing I have ever experienced. And he says, I've never experienced anything like it ever since. He says, could I have been dreaming? He said, I don't know. But for me, it was very real at the time.
Yeah. And I think we sort of know that, yeah, he saw it. Because a lot of people just try and argue themselves out of it as well, don't they?
Yeah.
That like, oh no, it's imagination, it's this, that, and so try and make up it's not, it's not anything.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, it's so cool. Like Teresa says, if you look at man's achievements over centuries, we're not going forwards. There's thought that man was more intelligent prior to the Ice Age. And I did read. Oh God, here we go. Interference with whatever.
Strange.
I'd say it's this. It's my
Oh, yeah.
headset. It's interfering. I don't know why.
Somebody turn the volume up and down.
No, what's going on? I don't want to get rid of it because it'll wake my bird up and he'll start chirping. It's been done, yeah. But there's a book called Fingerprints of the Garden. They're on about how the Arctic was actually mapped.
Oh, yeah.
In the days when it couldn't possibly been mapped.
Yeah.
So how can they do that when, they didn't have the technology?
No.
And
No.
it's just oh God, so it's Spirit Flying or Blair tap dancing.
What's he like? You can't take him anywhere. You really can't.
God. Yeah, but it's just some incredible things. I'm sort of into the Mayan culture and
oh yeah,
how they sort of built these pyramids, and then like you've got Egypt, haven't you? And they've got the glyphs with the spacemen, spaceships, and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
What the hell,
Yeah,
So what has been lost?
Yeah.
They use the stars and in like Chichen Itza, the observatory, and like it's how it's lined up, and then one of the pyramids is lined up to catch the equinox. So as the shadow moves, it looks like a snake is like slithering down or up the side of the pyramid.
Oh wow!
So yeah, that's spring and autumn equinox on El Castillo at Chichen Itza. But yeah, I went in September, but I missed it. It's the wrong day, whatever. But yeah,
ancient. There's so many ancient civilizations, and they had some fantastic beliefs as well, and ways of doing things. Just
and they just cleared off from the cities, and we never know why.
Yeah.
And this is a big mystery. But the cities, the cities in Mexico, what they've done, they've kind of rescued some from the jungle and rebuilt them.
Yeah.
So you get like something called a ball court where they used to do games of different nature, and you used to put the pieces together.
Yeah.
Back in position, but they've got them mixed up or upside down, so it's a shame. Yeah, that's it. Graham Hancock, Fingerprints of the God. It's mind blowing. So if anyone does get a chance to read that, it's brilliant. Fingerprints of the God. And there's Yonder Dice Period, which caused a massive change. I will do. Not heard of that one, but yeah. Oh God, Time Slips. There you go. What do you think about that one?
Time slips. Never experienced one myself. I've heard a few different ones, to be fair. One of the best accounts I've probably heard of one was on. Do you listen to Danny Robbins' podcast, Uncanny?
No.
Please do. It's fantastic.
All right. Danny Robbins,
Danny Robbins on BBC BBC Sounds. It's on.
All right, cool.
So just type in Uncanny podcast, and that should come up. But he's on his first season or his first series of Uncanny, which was a couple of about a year or so ago. There was a time slip there, and what happened was there was a guy. I don't know the exact details. He was running from someone, and he ran down this alleyway, and the alleyway just seemed to like change in front of him. Went back.
Oh my gosh!
It went back in time.
Whoa!
Yeah, the Welsh one else was also fantastic. So this bloke had bought this house, this old house, like a mansion, and he'd heard like things going on in the night, like somebody was having a party in his house, and he went downstairs, went into what would have been the dining room, opened the doors, and saw everybody inside the room. The table inside the room was fully decked out in plates, cutlery, and there was loads of people in there having a party. And apparently they all this is another one of Danny Robbins' uncanny stories that they're meant to be like true accounts of what people have experienced. And so everybody in the room apparently turned round and looked at him. But he was like, obviously, this is like modern times, and he's looking back in the dining room, and everybody's dressed in Victorian stuff.
They can see him, and they look. Oh my god! It's
I mean,
so mad.
I'd like to know what he had the night before. That's for sure.
That's it. Like, I've spoken to Preston Dennett as well. Like, he does ufology, so he knows loads of witness accounts of abductees and things like that.
Yeah.
And he's mentioned time slips, obviously from that direction, which mad, isn't it?
I mean, is it an altered state of mind where is it a regression of a past life you once had?
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
If you've actually gone down that route before, like the person running, the person running away from someone, if they ran down that alleyway in a past life and they're now getting a regression from it. A projected image, so to speak.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've got some weird stories about my past life regressions, and and they're still ongoing with some characters in Nottingham as well, which is really random. But hey,
oh yeah.
So I was born in Nottingham, 1200s.
Oh yeah.
I lived in Nottingham Castle in the location which is now the Robin Hood Legacy. And
fantastic.
I also done another past life, and it looked like I was found guilty in the galleries of justice.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm going back there in August. But
I hope you don't.
We also have a link through all this between the Robin Hood Legacy and the galleries, because we think the judge from the galleries used to live at the Robin Hood Legacy. So it's all freaky. But yeah.
Well, I hope you don't have to relive the hanging incident. That's for sure.
Well, I've got badly overshadowed last time I went. So yeah. Because I sat in the judge's chair.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will sit in that chair again. I've got some strong protectors around me this time.
Just to bug them.
Yeah, I know, because I went and I mentioned the story it's a 2-day thing. To Derby Jail, then we went there and I told the story to someone in Derby Jail grounds, and I felt like I was being strangled just by saying the story.
Yeah.
So then that night I went to the National Justice Museum, and Gary Fields was he was picking up what was going on in a way. He was remote, just picking up what was going on remotely.
Yeah.
And as soon as I got there, I thought, oh, sod it, let's sneak and go to his chair. So I went and sat in the judge's chair. So I returned to the base room, and Gary says he's cheesed off now, he is.
Oh.
So Gary picked up that I've been in his chair already. You know what I mean? It's just so weird, isn't it? But, yeah. So I'm just like, what gets on his nerves, that judge. So, yeah, let's see what happens.
Nottingham's a fantastic place, wasn't it? I actually inquired there about the first year that I was doing this kind of thing, and we'd gone down to. I've got a video. If you go back into Nottingham, I've got a video of the Jerusalem, the trip to Jerusalem.
I've investigated there twice. Yeah.
I can't get in there now. They don't do investigations anymore.
Green King took it over, and I think just before COVID they stopped investigations.
Yeah.
Which was Actually, I don't know. There's like 3 pubs in Nottingham, and they're all arguing about which one's the oldest. So if you've got the Trip to Jerusalem, you've got Salutation, and you've got the Bell Inn. One is the Land is the oldest used as a pub. One is the oldest building, and one, you know what I mean? They've each got oldest, but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but it's, yeah.
But Carl, the landlord, when we were there, I went there with my mate Jez, and we Carl, the landlord, I inquired about the place, and I says, I believe obviously you've seen the photographs. You've got like
Yeah,
something
the
tunnels and
galleon.
stuff in the
Yeah.
cellar. So he took us down there. He did like I said, do you mind if I brought my camera? I says, do you mind if I actually film this? He says, no. He says, I'll do a little talk if you want.
Oh,
So he did this.
awesome.
He did this whole history talk whilst we're in the cellars, going through the cellars. It's fantastic. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my neck of the woods, and I kind of take it for granted. I've
Yeah.
also been like, I went to Nottingham Castle because it was closed for a while, so it had a massive refurb, and it's closed again. It's going to reopen soon, but you do the tour there, and I did it just before it's due to close the first time.
Yeah.
And you can get from the castle right down to the south.
Right.
The trip rather.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can get right through the sandstone. So.
Yeah. Amazing, isn't it?
It's weird, isn't it?
They've
Yeah,
they've got tunnels. They've got tunnels going everywhere.
they have. Yeah,
It's actually more reminiscent of an ant's nest.
yeah. Well, I sort of I'm involved in something else as well, like not just paranormal, and I got invited to somebody's garden, and they've actually got caves in the bottom of their garden.
Yeah.
So I carried on down it, and it was used for the World War II.
Ah,
It was
right.
used as shelters. And it's
Yeah.
got like
Yeah.
the writing going toilet and someone scraped in the wall 1940 and things like that. It's just
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
someone's garden. It's an awesome place. So I managed to get a walk round of that place. But yeah, I'm like, oh my God, imagine having that as a garden.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
We're right in
Fantastic.
there. Like, I just sort of say, can I come back? But then originally it was a yeah, but then I think I didn't like the idea of what I did. But yeah, because I did go for something completely different. But yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as you mention that, it's like, well, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, but, I want to thank you anyway. It's been really cool. But thanks for your time. And
No, honestly,
yeah.
thanks very much for having us on. It's
It's
really
been
enjoyed it.
brilliant.
It's been
Thank
great.
you. So if anyone wants to catch Mark, then check out Dead Cold Paranormal on YouTube. I did put a link at the beginning, so whether that actually shows up on the podcast or not, I will actually share some of the content as well onto my page and group, Paranormal Path. But thanks so much. It's been wonderful. And yeah, I love the quality of what you produce,
Thanks very much again.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a big thanks to Mr. Steve Richards there from the Weed Brothers, who's showed me a lot to do with things like that.
Yeah, I've met them once at Haunted Antiques with John Blackburn, I think.
Yeah.
So I was there once when they were filming, but yeah, brilliant, and yeah, we'll be watching them. Thank you so much
Thanks,
for your
Jacqueline.
time. All right,
thanks very much indeed.
Thanks everyone who's contributed. Thanks for watching, and look after yourselves, everyone. Back next
Cheers,
Monday.
folks.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
See you. Bye.